running for Texas Agricultural Commissioner, a fifth-generation Texan who grew up working on his family ranch in Lampasas. Clayton attended Southwestern University, studied university further in Taipei, worked as a water researcher for the National Science Foundation, a teacher, which we're a big fan of around here, and a healthcare advocate. Please welcome up front, running for Texas Ag Commissioner, Clayton Tucker.
Howdy. So, as y'all get to know me, I definitely want to start getting to know y'all as well. So let's do a little bit of, I'm going to ask who's involved with something and we'll do a quick raise of hands. Do we have any folks in agriculture or the food system? Maybe you raise cows or you have a really fantastic garden. All right. I am the secretary of the Texas Farmers Union. Think of Farm Bureau, but Democratic. Fun story about that. After showing up to a couple meetings, they're like, hey, you're young, you're a secretary now. I was like, okay. And yeah, we have a cow, calf, and goat operation in Lampasas. If you don't know where that is, find the dead center of Texas, and you will find Lampasas. We are equally far from everywhere else. Do we have any folks who are teachers, educators? Thank y'all. I'm a former kindergarten teacher, 15 boys, 5 girls, pure mayhem. Great training for politics. Do we have any military veterans? Thank y'all for your service. I was raised by a sailor, so if I start talking like one, thankfully there's no kids around. So, do we have any folks who are new? Maybe you're new to politics, maybe you're just now getting involved. Do you have any folks who are, thank you so much. That's really fantastic. You know, every meeting, I've been traveling all over the state. Every meeting, we always have a couple folks. Do we have any folks who are precinct chairs, county chairs, or club leaders? Hey, you're the backbone of the Democratic Party. You know, I've held all the positions that you can possibly imagine in the Democratic Party, it feels like, and I'm the founder of the Texas Progressive Caucus. If you heard the name Kendall Scudder, that's because we got him elected. So, this is the very last one. All right? It might be also the hardest one. Do we have any folks here who eat food? Hey, I like to joke that, and this is the bad dad joke of the evening, you do not have to raise cows to be a stakeholder in Texas agriculture. And by the way, if you eat food, you can vote in this race. So, I really am glad to be here. It's been a couple years since I've been here. I ran for Texas State Senate. I guess that was back in the before times, so like right around 2020. And I spent a lot of time out in Lakeway. It's definitely good seeing some good friends here. And if I wasn't here, I would probably at my family's ranch dealing with this goat we have, whose name is Tweedledum. Now let me tell you something about Tweedledum. If there is a fence she can get her head stuck in, she will get her head stuck in that fence like Trump starts trade wars. And if there's something that's going to spook her, she will get as spooked as a Republican seeing a fair, ungerrymandered map. And then after saving her for the umpteenth time, I realized something. Oh my God, my goat's a Republican. Now, I ain't saying our current ag commissioner, Sid Miller's Tweedledum, though he does get himself caught in corruption scandals by taking bribes and using public money, our tax dollars, to fly himself to Oklahoma to get some Jesus juice. And I'm also not saying all these other things about him, because what I really want to focus on is affordability. Because the Republicans, what they're doing to us reminds me of one time I was feeding our mini cows. And I was just out there keeping them at like 6 a.m. or whatever. And Tweedledum, it's always Tweedledum, runs over, tries to take some of their cubes, and they try to swat her away. Completely missed her, completely stabs me in the back. So they've been saying, oh, we're doing this about government efficiency. Oh, we're doing this for this, that, and the other reason. But what they're doing is stabbing us in the back. So if you're going to remember anything about this campaign, anything about me, is that I am running on food affordability. We have to make food affordable. Because when food isn't affordable, nothing is. Think about it. If food bills are too high, how are we going to make sure most folks afford education, housing, healthcare, transportation, vacations? I went to a grocery store the other day, bought 2 bags of groceries, $120. And I don't have any two-legged kids. have a bunch of four-legged ones, but that's a little bit different. And this is, now we might have to ask ourselves why. Why is this the case? Because it's been designed this way. You go to a grocery store, you see 5 different brands of chicken. It's all Tyson. Not only that, it's probably all from the same farm. It's probably all from the same facility. They just slap a different label. You go to the grocery store, you would say you buy beef. That's all JBS. You can find a thing of beef with American flag. Chances are it's Brazilian or Australian. We are, we call ourselves a breadbasket, and it's true, but we're not a breadbasket for ourselves. We are a net importer of food. And not only is food prices out of this world, but we've also made farming itself unaffordable. Let's use Tyson again. They own the factories, the facilities. They own the transportation, the butcher. They somehow own the chicken DNA. How you own DNA? I don't know. And because of that, they are able to nickel and dime chicken farmers out the wazoo. We have a couple folks actually in chicken, and they can agree. They can tell you, yeah, it's not great. True story. There you go. And the same is happening with cattle. Same is happening with cotton. We are about to lose our entire cotton industry. At this rate, there will not be cotton in Texas. At this rate, there will not be soy in Texas. At this rate, there might not be farmers in Texas. Because everywhere I go, doesn't matter was it at West Texas or East Texas, every single farmer I have talked to, including the die-hard Republicans, are saying what's happening right now is not okay. Now, some of the others outside of farming who live in those areas are still drinking the Kool-Aid. I had one guy tell me, I like Trump, he's a billionaire, he doesn't want more money. Like, oh boy, let's have fun with this one. So what can Ag Commissioner actually do about it? Because that's what this campaign is about, creating affordability by busting these monopolies. Because the more we bust monopolies, food prices will start going down. They rig all the system. They rig the whole thing. Well, we were talking to a guy, his name's Austin Frederick. He wrote the book Barons. If you ever want to learn about monopolization of our food industry, read that book. It's a really fantastic one. And he was explaining that Texas is actually a little unique. That in Texas, the Ag Commissioner alone can start the process of busting ag monopolies. Now, ideally, we will have someone like Joe Jaworski as Attorney General. That would be fantastic if we have a good Attorney General. And hopefully we'll have folks like Vicky and the Lieutenant Governor. That really does help. But the Ag Commissioner alone can start busting them up. You might be wondering, well, how do we do that? It's very simple. As Ag Commissioner, I control the supply chains of our food system for schools, right? I might not control what's on the menu, but I have a say on where the menu comes from. If we create a rule, and we would have to ease into this rule, you can't go 0 to 60, but we create a rule that the food that we serve at our public schools have to be from Texans, grown by Texas farmers or ranchers, and also produced by Texans, like processed by them, we can do some serious damage to these monopolies. And we create a true system where we can actually start supporting our farmers again. I'm going to leave you with this one little thing, and if we have time, we might take one question. So, what's your favorite decade, 60s or 70s?
70s.
70s, okay. It's 1970. You buy $1 worth of beef in 1970.
Okay.
From that $1, I, the cattle rancher, would have gotten 40, 50 cents of that dollar. Nowadays, that $1, I get 7 to 14. Here's another way to think about it. You spend $1 at the grocery store. It could be for cereal, it could be for whatever. Beef, chicken, anything. For that $1, now this is a good rule of thumb. It's not 100% accurate in every little thing. But a good rule of thumb is 20 cents of that $1 is for the actual food. 80 cents I call the monopoly markup. They say we live in a free market. We do not. We live in a monopoly market. And we have to start busting them up. I think we have time for one question, and then I'm going to wrap up real quick. Who's going to take it?
What would your answer have been if I had said 60s?
Same deal.
Okay.
We'll count it. If you have any other questions, I'll be out there. So we have a bunch of petitions. If I get 5,000 signatures, I do not have to pay $5,000. The campaign's been going really good so far. We're traveling all over the state. If you like what I'm saying, we are selling some camo hats and shirts. If you pitch in at least $30, you'll get one. We are very, very close. We are on our way to hitting 100,000 total raised. So this campaign is moving along. And you can find me on social media, claytontuckertx.com. Half of my stuff is baby animals. The other half is me talking shit. So thank you so much.